Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something really cool, a new idea that's mixing the world of finance with doing good. It's called the social stock exchange. Now, this could totally change how we think about charity, especially now when we all want to know our money is actually making a difference. So, let's jump right in. So, let me start with a feeling I bet you've had. You see a cause you care about, you want to help out, you're ready to donate, but then that little voice in your head pops up. Who do I give this to? How do I know for sure that my money is going where it's supposed to, and not just vanishing into some black hole?
You know, that doubt, that trust gap, it's a huge problem. You've got millions of us on one side, ready and willing to give. And on the other, you have all these amazing organizations doing incredible work. The real challenge is building a solid, trustworthy bridge between the two. And that is exactly where the Social Stock Exchange, or SSE, comes into the picture. It's a brand new framework built specifically to solve that problem, to be that bridge of trust we've been missing.
Okay, so what is it really? Think of it just like a regular stock market, like the ones you hear about on the news, but instead of listing big companies trying to make a profit, it lists social enterprises that are focused on making an impact. It's a formal, regulated place for them to raise money directly from people like you and me. And here's what makes this so cool and easy to get into. It's not some weird, separate system you have to figure out. In India, the SSE is just a new section on the big, established exchanges we already know, like the BSE and the NSE. That integration is absolutely key. So, who gets to list on this special exchange? Well, not just anybody. You have to qualify as a social enterprise. And that means your main goal, your whole reason for being, has to be creating a positive social impact, not just making money. They actually have to prove their social intent and show they're working in one of 16 specific areas laid out by the regulator, SEBI. This table really helps break it down. You've got two main types of organizations on the SSE. First, in that top row, you have your not-for-profits, or NPOs. Think of these as your traditional charities, focused 100% on social impact. They raise money through donations. But then, right below, you have for-profit social enterprises, or FPEs. These are actual businesses, but with the social mission baked into their DNA. They can raise money in more familiar ways, like selling shares. It's this mix that makes the whole thing so flexible. All right, so the theory sounds great, but how does it actually work for somebody like you? How do you go from sitting on your couch to actually making an impact through this thing? Let's walk through it.
Honestly, they've made it incredibly simple because it's just a part of the major exchanges. You don't need to open any new accounts. You just log into your existing trading or brokerage account, find the Social Stock Exchange section, browse the organizations listed there, and pick a cause you believe in. It's that easy. But wait a second. This brings up a really important question. If you're giving money to a nonprofit, you're not buying a stock that's going to go up in value. So what are you getting? What shows up in your account? And the answer is this unique thing called a zero coupon, zero principal instrument, or ZCZP for short. I know, that sounds super technical and intimidating, but don't worry. All it really is a formal digital receipt for your donation. It proves you contributed. There's zero coupon, so no interest, and zero principal is returned. Its value is entirely social. So, let's be crystal clear about this. A ZCZP is a donation, not an investment you make to get rich. When you buy a regular stock, you're hoping for a financial return. With a ZZZP, you're looking for a social return, the good that your money does in the world. And even though you don't get your money back, you still get the usual tax benefits for charitable giving. Right about now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it, but I can already donate online and get a tax receipt. What's the real difference here? And that question brings us right back to the beginning. The answer is simple: regulation and trust. The SSC adds a whole layer of safety and oversight you just don't get otherwise. This whole system is built from the ground up to give you peace of mind. The entire thing is regulated by SEBI. Every single organization listed must publish a detailed annual impact report to show exactly what they did with the money. And that report isn't just some pretty marketing material. It has to be professionally audited. This whole structure is about ensuring transparency and accountability. So, the framework is solid. But is it actually working? Is anyone using this thing? Let's take a look at some of the early results, the first signs of impact. Well, get this.
By early 2024, there are already 51 nonprofits registered on just the BSE's social stock exchange. That's a pretty clear sign that organizations on the ground are seeing this as a real, valuable way to raise funds. And more importantly, it's starting to move real money to important causes. So far, a whopping 12.4 crore rupees have been raised by just 9 of these organizations for projects in education, healthcare, and more. It's a fantastic start that proves the concept actually works.
Of course, it's not all perfect yet. There's one really big, thorny challenge at the heart of this. How in the world do you measure a social return? I mean, it's easy to report outputs, right? An NGO can say, we trained 500 people. But measuring the actual outcome, like did those 500 people get better jobs and truly improve their lives, that's way, way harder.
Now, the regulators are smart. They know this is a challenge. So to tackle it, SEBI is requiring something called an impact scorecard. This forces organizations to report their impact in a much more standardized way, going beyond just the simple numbers to show the real depth of the change they're making. It's a huge step in the right direction.
So let's do a quick recap. What are the big things to remember? First, the SSE is that regulated bridge we need to connect us with trustworthy social organizations. Second, and this is huge, you can get involved super easily using your normal trading account. Third, when you give to nonprofits, you're doing it through ZCZRPs, which are basically just formal, tax-deductible donations. And finally, the entire system is built on trust and transparency, thanks to those mandatory impact reports.
Which leaves us with one last big thought. By taking the structure and transparency of the stock market and applying it to the world of doing good, the social stock exchange is trying to solve that fundamental problem of trust in giving. So the real question is, could this be the innovation that truly transforms the future of charity as we know it? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.